Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Tokusatsu Now, the podcast designed to onboard newcomers into the fantastic genre that is Tokusatsu, as well as to offer a deep dive into that genre for long-time fans. My name is Tom Caswell, and I am joined by Mike Williams. Mike, how are you on this Easter Sunday?
Good. Doing well on this Easter Sunday. No, not doing anything in
No
particular.
egg hunting?
No.
Okay.
No. You always, once you get up into our age and you don't have to worry about kids.
No kids.
The benefit is not doing anything at all.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 1000%, 1000%. We get to just enjoy all of the children's entertainment, which is why we're even having this podcast in the first place. So this week we are going to do two things. We're just going to quickly catch up on both Kamen Rider Zeztz and Super Space Sheriff Gavan Infinity, which have both been continuing those runs, and then also jump into a little bit of news regarding Gavan and some new updates. We have a new Gavan that is debuting, I guess, in the coming weeks, and then there was a huge blowout of info for Kamen Rider's 55th anniversary, which is this year, which I cannot believe it's been 5 years since the 50th anniversary, but here we are, and a bunch of new projects announced. We're gonna break all of it down because there's just so much to go through, but before we do that, we're gonna catch up on Zeztz and Gavan. So let's start off with Zeztz. So last time we chatted about Zeztz, we were just starting this new arc of the show, where Baku, it turns out, the first half of the show was all a dream, but at the same time wasn't, right? Because it was a premonition of the future and things that have come to were going to come to pass. Now we're in the second half. Things are completely different because things did happen for Zeztz, and he was able to get all of his upgrades and all of his forms, and that kind of influx of power has caught
everyone off guard.
Everyone off guard, but also raised the awareness of Sieg, right?
Yep. Who's Kamen Rider Dawn?
Kamen Rider Dawn, the third Kamen Rider in the show. And sorry to burst your bubble, Mike. We're not saving Agent Number 1 for a movie.
He is here.
Sieg is Kamen Rider Dawn. He seems to, from everything that kind of teasing, he seems to essentially be like a proto Zeztz, right? Like there's this Insomnia project. It's like this code, like secret project within code.
Yeah, Code Somnia that they keep hinting at. They haven't outright said what it is, but given what we've seen briefly, Catastrom is Baku's latest form, and we're about to see Ordum, but the Catastrophe Gore Nightmare, which is the level of nightmare that is up here, seemingly exists in Baku.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to the press conference, we've seen voice actors for four Gore Nightmares: Catastrophe, Punish, Phantom, and Oblivion.
Mm-hmm.
Punish is Sieg's.
Right.
So the guess is that the Punish Gore Nightmare is inside Sieg in the same way that Catastrophe is inside Baku.
Yeah, so this was actually, as you said, shown off at that 55th anniversary press conference. So yeah, Catastrophe and Punish already accounted for, and then the other two were Phantom and Oblivion, which tied, I assume one of them's probably got to be tied to
Phantom is probably
lady.
Nox. Phantom is probably Nox's, and Oblivion will be either Lady or Nim, since they're both in that.
Mm-hmm.
I assume probably Nim unless there is an extra thing beyond. I think we're going for Nim will probably be, or whatever's inside of Nim is the final boss of this show.
Yeah, these are definitely being where we are in the run of the show. These four gore nightmares are kind of being shown to, I think, be like the big bads through the end, and then there will be like the, I don't know, maybe they all form one single
Yeah,
nightmare.
wherever we're going, we are definitely going for something is inside of Nim. It will come out. It will be very bad, and then everyone will have to do the pull Nim out, like the actual Nim out of the whatever
hmm
nightmare.
And so we've gotten these new gore nightmares. We've got Sieg, who is just, he just wants to, he relishes nightmares, right? And he is all about bad dreams, and he's like, you should enjoy bad dreams. And he is put
He
Nox in an eternal nightmare, and the lady woke him up. Lots happened.
Yeah, he is the return of Garen,
From
Garen's
Blade.
actor from Blade, and he is having the time of his life.
Yeah, he's having a blast. Kamen Rider Blade was the 2004 season, I believe, is the year. So it was like the fourth or fifth season of Kamen Rider after they came back from their break in the 90s. And yeah, he was the second rider of that show, right? And
Yes, a very serious sort of guy, and as Dawn, he now gets to be the complete
the
opposite.
complete, just wacky, indulging, got a great fit. I love his civilian outfit. Well, you know,
His pajamas with a coat all
yeah,
over
I
top.
was looking at them in this latest episode, and I was like, I think those are pajamas, which makes
Oh, they're
sense because he's
absolutely
asleep.
pajamas.
He's asleep, but he looks so cool doing it, and his sword that splits into two. Yeah, very cool, very threatening, very scary. Curious as to where his arc goes, but we've also had the shocking reveal that Minami, Baku's sister, is
This
actually
is the latest episode. They finally revealed this. Yeah.
yeah, that in the very latest episode, it's been revealed that Baku's sister is an agent of code and seemingly been planted in his life for. I mean, he is under the belief that she is his real sister, which is just crazy to think about, considering everything that we've, all of the time that we've had with these characters, that she's been an agent of code this whole time.
But it does explain one of the sort of, we figured it was sort of a narrative shortcut, why she was just immediately like, oh, this is this is what it is. Like, she even after the time jump, she walks right into the closet and is like, you did this to my brother. Like, and there was no like hesitation, no wondering, just she
hmm
was in.
hmm
And unlike the cops, she was not on the black. She was supposed to be a civilian, except for the little side stuff. So this sort of explains that, what felt like maybe a narrative shortcut, but is now revealed as, oh, she already knew.
Yeah, she's in on it. If she's a code number, we don't know. It doesn't seem like she is. She's might is probably a lower ranking official, but yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
everyone is
Mhm.
okay. Now we are. Everyone is covered for. One is zero is probably zero. One is Sieg. Two is Lady. Three is Lord Three. Uh, four, five, six is Nox, and seven is Baku. So we
Yeah,
have all of our code agents.
unless we add more numbers after that, but yeah, we've covered the whole board, and yeah, very interesting to see where this story goes. I was very surprised. We don't have any more information. It was kind of the cliffhanger that the episode ended with, but it doesn't seem, based on the preview for next week, it doesn't seem like it's a surprise to her. You know, it's not like she is it's a sleeper
Mind,
agent. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. She seems to have been very aware of the fact that she was an agent for Code. So yeah, very excited to see. We're also getting, as you mentioned, a new form or Ordum next week as well. Very excited to see where the rest of the show goes. That being said, we also have not Kamen Rider Gavan. Gavan Infinity just had its 8th episode. We have now had the reveal of Death Gavan, who is essentially the corrupted version of. So the way that it works is you've got Reiji, and his mentor was 2 Gavans ago, right?
Right.
He was a Gavan, and then there was Gavan Destiny, who eventually breaks bad and becomes Death Gavan, and they're figuring he's the one who is kind of putting out all of the emo gears into the various multiverses and creating all the chaos in the multiverse in that show.
Yep. And we've sort of settled into also story-wise how the show seemingly is going to work, in that, similar to Sentai, a we did the introduction episode, then Gavan Bushido episode, then Luminous, then an extra Gavan, then Bushido, then Luminous, then Death did his thing, and
Which was an Infinity episode, right? Like
right,
that
which was
was,
an
yeah,
Infinity episode.
yeah.
And
And
now we're
we are doing, we're not doing any skips or double ups. Like we really are just going through the
the
three.
rotation. It is very similar to Sentai, except 3 instead of a Sentai would usually, if it's a 5-man Sentai, would do the same thing, but 5. It would,
Yeah.
you know, here's the full team intro, blue, pink, yellow, green. We introduce the Six Ranger, then we start the rotation again.
Yeah. So
Um,
that makes me think that in the not the next episode, obviously, because the next episode is a Luminous episode, but the episode after that is when we're going to get Gavan Raya, who is the 4th Gavan that has been shown off. Civilian name Kunai Kazanami. He is from the multiverse Earth Zeta 2066. He is a part of that Galaxy Federal Police's Interstellar Intelligence Division. He utilizes the Kigo emo gear, which is Kigu emo gear, which is fear. With Gavan's being rage, Bushido's being sorrow, and Luminous's being joy. And he is a ninja, is his theme. With
and
yeah,
it's very clear that Gavan Raya, you shorten the Gavan to G, and you can even look at the design. He is a clear callback to Sekai Ninja Sin G Raya. So that is the name and everything is a callback to another Toei Toku show.
yeah. So G Raya was kind of the follow up. If Gavan was the inception of the Metal Hero franchise, Jiraiya was the kind of follow-up show. And so interesting that they're clearly kind of incorporating this. Really is seemingly a melting pot of Metal Hero shows all rolled up into one here.
Yep.
Um,
So are we going to get a Gavan Kabuto, Kabutak, B Fighter, whatever? Maybe. Who
mhm.
knows?
That would be cool. I mean, I think we're definitely going to get at least one more Gavan, and then Death Gavan will become Gavan Destiny again,
Destiny again. Because we've
eventually.
seen that extra an extra Gavan Infinity, and we've seen an extra Gavan
Luminous.
Luminous.
Right.
And it feels like Luminous's current partner will just take that
Get another one,
spot.
yeah. Get another Luminous get another Gavarian trigger. Yeah. I've been enjoying the show. I thought I liked the fact that we now know why Reiji, because I'm like, for a guy who's all about rage, he doesn't seem that angry. But then in the Death Gavan episode, we kind of get his backstory, and like rage is what fuels him. The
Yes.
anger is what drives him. And so I thought that was really cool. I thought Death Gavan was a very threatening, They had a very anime fight where Infinity like leaps at him, and then Gavan like snatches and
just
smashes through the
just
building.
whooping up on him. I don't know who. I haven't checked to see who the suit actor is, but it has that old Seiji Takaiwa feel when he's just on, just whooping up on him.
Yeah. And so I've been enjoying the show. We'll see. You know, it's very clear to me that another thing that they're doing with this, and you know, I think that this is, you know, some, you know, when we talk about the toyetic nature of these shows and them needing to sell the toys, you know, these shows used to be very cheap to make, and I think clearly these shows are just to manufacture some of these like suits and everything is just way more expensive now than it used to be, because you know, we're not, you know, it's mostly they have the one monster of the week outfit that has like different arms.
Yep,
Otherwise it's exactly the same. And then we have the basically human enemies with just like slight
extra bits on.
modifications, which is cool and unique, but it is also this thing where it is very apparent that they are trying to really shoot this on a budget, and obviously a lot of the a budget for this stuff is going into the design of the Gavans and all the
And yeah, and they're saving their budget for specific fights.
mhm.
Some of the fight choreography is a little more interesting, and there was in the last Luminous episode some nice little miniature
Oh
model work
yeah, oh
with
yeah,
the
the crane.
Gavarian,
Hmm.
yeah, doing the crane and saving the small ship.
Which,
And
when they cut to the inside of the ship, I'm like, well, that's just a public bus. Like, it was very
right,
clearly. So, in the previous episode of Gavan, there's this kid who, her and her mother are trying to run away from their, like, abusive, like, rich dad. And they're gonna get off planet, and it's this, you know, futuristic spaceship, and the kid's trapped on it, and it's like precariously like fallen over a cliff, and it's like on a little rocky outcrop like meter, you know, feet
and
and feet
they
down.
yeah, and they clearly had a little like a actor in the Cosmo Gavarian suit with next to a mountain with a little capsule, and then like they dropped like tiny rocks down the little, and I was
Yeah,
like, oh, this is like a
old
real
school
classic
baby. Yeah.
Ultraman style feel. So like they're saving their money for that, but that also means that when they are not in the middle of the fight or one of those scenes, it is very clearly just like post up in a alley or storefront or bathroom or whatever in Japan and film this scene, get it done, let's go.
And they keep filming in the this you know, so last time we did talk about the episode where he meets the Gavan that is also an ant, and in it's shot in this like crypt area, which was initially the first time I saw this area. It was the initial villains for King Oja, right? The Super Sentai from like 2023. Their like underground lair, right? Which was this thing. Now they're shooting in it for everything, because it was also in Zeztz as well. And then like I think the same week it was in an episode of Gavan. So they are really doubling down on their production pipeline and processes and locations and things like this. Um, yeah, I
Yeah.
thought that was funny.
There was someone who asked us like, why do we see all the same locations? Um and the answer for this is, why don't they, like back in the day they used to do more, maybe they would go to some park somewhere else, is one, they probably don't need to get permits for these locations because they already have them, or they already like know the person
Yeah,
and they're like,
exactly.
hey, can we just call? But second is also the special effects teams know these spots.
Hmm.
Like they know what shots they can do, they know where they can place the explosives, the wires,
Hmm.
and so like every time they get a new spot, and in fact, if you search like tokusatsu filming locations, you'll find a article at the Tokusatsu network that like just outlines with pictures like, hey, this is where this thing is.
Yeah.
So if you want to go, and in fact, the last time I went to Japan, I went to Saitama Super Arena and some other places just to take pictures. Like, yep, this is where half of the fights take place, or
Yeah.
and that place I believe is like a mine or something like that, like
Yeah.
an old mine, and it's like closed and it's more of a museum now.
Gotcha.
So
Okay.
so it
It's just funny
looks
because I literally had never seen it. It felt like a new location with King Oja, and now it's been in like every season of both Kamen Rider and Super Sentai, and now Gavan since it was
yeah,
introduced.
I think the first time I remember seeing it was probably like Gaim, but I think it did exist before that.
Mm.
But it's like a mine, old mine that is now a museum, I believe.
Very cool. Yeah, they clearly are just doing everything they can to make it as smooth as a process as possible. I think it is at this point where it's like it probably just costs more money than it used to make shows like these, with how, for you got to imagine that, to make the props and everything, like there's fewer and fewer people who can, and fewer places that can manufacture this stuff, excuse me.
Yeah,
And
that's
so
why for a while we saw the Samurai Village set because like Toei has a Samurai Village set that's just always there, like a
yeah,
location. So they're like, I mean, we might as well use
yeah,
it.
might as well use it, baby.
And yeah, so that's why a lot of the like if they're ever fighting in a parking lot, that's probably just like the Toei
Office parking
set,
lot.
like office parking lot.
Amazing. So yeah, very happy with both shows so far. Zets, though, I think is really, this second half has been really cool.
Really good.
And excited for more. But Zets is old news, Mike. Been
Ooh,
there, done that with Zets. Let's talk about what's coming up next for Kamen Rider. So, this year, 2026, is the 55th anniversary of Kamen Rider. Kamen Rider, older than Super Sentai. 1971 was the first season of the show. Like I said, the 50th anniversary. And what's wild about this 55th anniversary is the amount of stuff that got announced. I couldn't believe the amount of updates I was getting. For
and
yeah,
uh, they put out the press conference with English subs. Like
yes,
the press conference happened on was it April 3rd, April 2nd, something like that.
It
Like the
was it's
day
April 1st.
oh, it was April 1st, yeah,
Yeah.
because we were worried it was April Fool's for a second there.
Well, we'll get into that, but yes, it was.
Um, and like the next day, like so we were getting the news as it was coming out on the press conference, but the next day it was up on Toei Tokusatsu World Official with English subs.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And as we go through a lot of the announcements, you'll see that they say like, "Oh, this stuff is aimed at not just Japanese audiences, but also overseas
Yeah.
audiences. We want to expand the brand, and that's why I'll like we're about to go over it. It's a lot of
It's a
announcements,
lot. It's for the 50th anniversary, we just got Shin Kamen Rider and Black Sun. So Black
right?
Sun was a very like mature season of Kamen Rider that really leans into the kind of body horror elements of the show. It came out on Prime. It's on Prime Video right now if you want to go watch it. And then we also got Shin Kamen Rider, which is one of the the Shin Ultraman, Shin Godzilla, and now Shin Kamen Rider, kind of part of that trilogy. And that was it. We got those two announcements. We also got the announcement then of Rev Ice, which was the next season of the show. The next regular Kamen Rider series. So let's start off with what was announced. So we obviously got the Kamen Rider Zets updates, which were the the announcement of the Gore Nightmares, Catastrophe, Punish, Phantom, and Oblivion. We also got the kind of official announcement. I think like the poster came out before, but they did briefly talk about how, so usually every summer there is a Kamen Rider Super Sentai crossover film that happens. And this year, obviously, there is no Super Sentai, but we are going to get a Zeztz Gavan crossover movie, which is coming to theaters in Japan July 24th, 2026. They did say, like, they are looking at options for distribution outside of Japan for the film, which is interesting considering they've decided to not do any as at least English international
For
distribution for
Gavan, yeah.
the series. But maybe this is the way, right? You have Zeztz, Gavan, you put this movie out, you get it, on Amazon or wherever streaming later, and then you put out Gavan officially later down the line. Interesting that they're talking about an international option for this, with Gavan being pretty limited in terms of where you can officially watch it. But we're getting the crossover movie, just just a different flavor, considering Super Sentai is no more. Speaking of movies, though, on November 6th, 2026, we will get a Kamen Rider Kabuto 20th anniversary movie. So Kamen Rider Kabuto was the 2006 season of the show, and Kabuto was like incredibly popular. Kabuto was also my kind of first, that was the 2006 was like
Oh, Kabuto was your first?
I know Deno was really the first one
Oh,
that I
okay.
watched, but I was watching Bokenja, right? The Super
Okay.
Sentai season that was the same year as Kabuto. Back when Super Sentai and Kamen Rider also would premiere around the same time. They would have weeks apart between their premieres, right? It wasn't until decade where that was a shorter season, and then Kamen Rider moved to a September release.
Gotcha.
So I was very familiar with Kabuto, and I thought it looked very cool. But man, we're talking about very early days of me knowing how to torrent, where to access this stuff, all of this. So like, it wasn't until with Deno where I jumped in. But this is Kabuto is I think, very widely regarded as one of the more popular and in many ways iconic, at least visually, from the design of the
Visually
suits.
iconic. The story was okay.
Okay.
But the design of the riders and all is very visually iconic. It's bug themed.
Yeah.
It
Super
leans.
bug. Yeah,
Um,
leaning into that bugness of the
and Kabuto
Kamen
is
Rider.
just a clean,
Such a good looking
clean
suit.
design.
Yeah.
That was actually the last show I fan subbed. I think.
Oh, like you
Uh,
were doing the subs?
yeah, I
Oh,
was doing fan subs at the time. I did Blade, I did Kabuto, I did
wow.
Grand Caesar. Uh, Kabuto, I think, was the last one that I did before I got like busy with real life.
Sure. Wow. Okay. So there is a little bit of history here for you as well. Awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited for this. It's Kamen Rider Kabuto, Inheritor of Heaven, or Successor to Heaven. One interesting thing about this. So back in January,
Mm-hmm.
they they were like, we're going to be doing a Kamen Rider movie project. Here is, I believe, they released 11 logos at the time, and they're like, you can vote for which one you think is going to be the movie. And it was eventually revealed to be Agito Psychic War was the one
Mm-hmm.
that won out. Like, this is the Agito Psychic War is the one that's being made now. Now, the interesting part there is the other titles, and I'll read them in order. It was Agito Psychic War, Kamen Rider Ryuki Survive Grand Prix, Deno I'm on Fire, Kamen Rider Decade Show Shocker War, Gaim Niflheim War, Kamen Rider Ghost Anniversary, The First Icon, Amazon's Psychic War, X-Aid Divine Game, Kamen Rider Build Be the Two, and Kamen Rider Zeo Next New World. But the third logo was Kamen Rider Kabuto 20th, Inheritor of Heaven. It's the same
Mm.
logo. So now there's wondering if they put all of these logos out and they were like, okay, we're gonna like only one of these is actually being made. But Agito won out. Kabuto's logo is exactly the same. The logo they showed for Kabuto is the same as the one that is on the poster.
Mm.
And they have announced that Dino will have for its 20th a big multimedia project. But if the Dino movie that happens next year is called I'm on Fire, then all of these were just actual names for actual projects that they are doing. And they're just trying to be clever about it.
Mm. Yeah, interesting way to go about announcing these. One of the another interesting thing is that it seems that the main character of so we're getting a new Kamen Rider in Inheritor of Heaven with
Yep.
Atlas, which is a white Kamen Rider, but it seems that Gatak is the main protagonist of the film. Like Kamen Rider Kabuto is not on the poster for this film.
Yes, and that has been one of those things that's been a question. Hiro Mizushima, who was Kamen Rider Kabuto back in the day, does not really act anymore. He kind of retired.
Hmm.
And so the question is like, will he appear? Is this the kind of thing where um, like Kuga's actor uh is generally just not coming back for anything. So like
Hmm.
my man has moved on. Mizushima is the same way. Is he coming back? My guess is if he does come back, it'll be like at the very end, like Tendo walks out with like tofu or something and does his, Obachan once said, and he's just living his life elsewhere. It is
Hmm.
clear that as the face of Kabuto, Gatact is it. He was in the Zeo episodes for the character for that world as well.
Mm,
And his actor seems to be more willing to just come back for anything, just like, hey.
gotcha. Yeah.
And we'll probably get maybe in universe someone related to him, to the character Tendo as the new Kamen Rider Alice. I don't know. But yes, Gatak, it definitely seems to be the face of everything, even more so than as we'll talk about the movie label stuff. Agito Psychic War is the same way, somewhat, in that it is following G3's actor as the lead character. The
Hmm.
second rider is the lead character. Uh, but in that case, Agito's actor is still a part of the film. Like he's just in a smaller role
Hmm.
within that.
Yeah. It's interesting because Gatak is like what, the fifth rider in Kabuto?
Yes, yes. He's deeper in, but he's one of those who like, oh, okay, like Zabi is technically the second writer,
Yeah.
if you just go by release
Release
order,
order.
but
Yeah.
but Gatak is very much like that's the guy. Like
That's that.
as soon as he was there, it was those two. They were the Ichigo and Nigo of their
Gotcha.
era.
Gotcha. Yeah, I've seen like the first couple of episodes of Kabuto, but I didn't really stick with it. Like, but Kick Hopper
The
and Punch Hopper, like, those suits are just so cool.
Yeah,
Like,
they're very cool, and the trick with, like, Tendo is not a character with character arcs. Like, he already knows exactly who he is, and
hmm.
he never changes. He's always cool, he's always calm, he's always in control, and, Kagami, who's Gatak's, alter ego, is the character who, starts from the beginning, like, he's like, "Oh my god, I can do this," even from the first episode. It's like, "I'm gonna be I'm going to be Kabuto, and then the Zector just passes him by, and most of the
Oh,
arcs
that's
that
who.
happen,
Oh, okay. That's who Gatak, who ends up becoming Gatak.
yes,
Ah, okay. So he's in it
and
from
then
the
he
beginning
becomes
of the show.
yeah, yeah, he's there from the beginning, and he's kind of the at the beginning of the show, the second, usually the writer has a human buddy who is not really doing anything,
Yeah.
like Zeztz has the cop guy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what Gatak was. He worked for, I think it was it Board? Whatever. No, Zect. Zect was the
Mm-hmm.
and he worked for Zect as a sort of like go-getter agent guy.
Mm,
And so the very first episode, he's like, "Oh my god, I got the belt." Put it on. He's like, "Come on, Kabuto Zector," and then it like flies out and it flies past him, and
mm-hmm.
Tendo picks it up.
Gotcha.
Um, and but like Kagami is the one that has the arcs. Like, I'm becoming a hero. What does heroism mean?
Mm-hmm.
What does it mean to sacrifice, to fight? He's the one that has those arcs because Tendo again is one of those like decade
He's
style
done, yeah.
characters
Or
where he's
Ace
he's good.
from Gates, right?
Or Ace from Geats,
Yeah,
right?
Geats, yeah.
And that's exactly the same way to think about it.
Yeah.
Um, the way Ace and
He's a
in my head,
Tanuki is
I'm
his
going
rider, yeah.
Tycoon. Gates and
Tycoon,
Tycoon work
yeah.
and Geats is the exact same way that Kabuto and Gatak work.
Gotcha. Okay, cool. So we're getting that 20th anniversary Kabuto movie, and the next announcement was we're getting a bunch of like different labels here. The first one being Kamen Rider Chronicle. So these are going to be films based on uh past Kamen Rider entries. Is Inheritor of Heaven a Chronicle film?
I'm guessing that all of the ones, like if my theory is correct, and all of the logos that they announced
Yeah.
back in January are real. Those are all the Kamen Rider Chronicles. The idea is just like, let's go back to the old stuff. We'll do a movie, get some refreshed old merchandise out there,
Yeah.
get some new merchandise out there.
Yeah. Yeah.
See if we get a hit.
So Ahito Psychic War is the first one to be releasing. That comes out the end of this month in Japan, April 29th. As you mentioned, focusing more on G3, who is the second rider from Kamen Rider Ahito, which was the second Heisei era season back from the break. So it was Kuga and then Ahito. So we're getting Psychic War, and then, as you mentioned, we are getting a 20th anniversary Den-O movie, which might be that I'm on Fire project that they
Right.
teased. That will be for the 20th anniversary of Den-O, which is next year, 2007. Like I mentioned, Den-O was my first season of Kamen Rider. It's about time travel, and he has a train, right? That's the motif. Is they have a bullet train that they use, and
Travels through time. Yep.
that travels through time, and the rider belt has train tracks. It's also one of the first seasons where they really like lent into the, all right, he has four forms, right? Like he has four basic forms that we're gonna, over the course of the first 10 episodes, we're gonna unveil those, and then we get like the next level form, and then there'll be more of those after, and then there will be different, like that was really them coming leaning into this idea of, it isn't just like, you get your first form and then there's like a mid season form and then like a final form. It's like, no, there's forms galore. And Den-O was when, say, we looked at that chart episodes and episodes ago, right, of sales of Kamen Rider merch versus Super Sentai, and how Kamen Rider really took off. Den-O was like the first season where
Den-O was very popular,
they started selling merch like crazy.
and they talked during the press conference for all of these. Like Agito is called Agito Psychic War because they didn't want to attach Kamen Rider to it. They wanted to make it a little bit more open to all audiences, as more of just a general science fiction tokusatsu project.
Mm-hmm.
Den-O, they said directly, is going to be a big multimedia thing. So what they
Mm.
announced, the reason they put the logo out and not a movie logo, is they're like we're going to be doing more. Like,
Yeah, there'll be
here's the
more.
Den-O 20th logo.
Yeah.
This is not for the movie. We're going to be doing like a big multimedia project surrounding Den-O, because Den-O has in the past been one of the more popular series in Japan overall.
Mm-hmm.
And as you're talking about, like, each of the forms has a specific each of the base forms has a specific voice actor. They are emojins. Each form has an emojin, and each emojin has a specific voice actor. So
Yeah, because
uh
that is a season where the protagonist is the clumsy character, and like he essentially his body is taken over
correct.
by the Imagine when he transforms, and so he has all of his all the side characters are these kind of oni
Other
essentially.
forms. Yep.
Yeah.
And each of them has is based on a different, like, Japanese fable.
Yep.
But again, that was one of the biggest Kamen Rider shows, popular, most iconic. So it makes sense that they're going to be doing a big, like, Den-O 20th.
Yeah, makes sense. And
Yeah.
they said that these movies, as you mentioned, designed to have people go back and watch these seasons, and that makes sense. As some of these things that we're talking about are designed for outside of Japan, and continuing to extend Kamen Rider's reach outside of Japan. But this is one where it's like, hey, we've got a new project that is going to get you into this specific rider, and then we're going to incentivize you. Also they put Kabuto is now available on streaming, right? I think it's the first time it's been officially available.
Yeah. So they put on the
T2.
Toei, yeah, Tokusatsu online world, or whatever the official channel is. They are putting out Kabuto and Agito, since both of those are getting movies this year.
Yeah,
I believe it's just the first 3 episodes, and then they're doing another 2 episodes for each of them each subsequent week.
gotcha.
And then, like, as we say, like, part of this is to get you to go back to watch, but also to refresh the brands. There's a Figure Arts re-release of Kabuto coming up. They have the new Kamen Rider Atlas character. He's get a Zectra. They've already announced, like, hey, you'll be able to pick this up, like, alongside, as they draft on these. They're like,
Yeah, don't forget, there are toys to buy, ladies and gents. There are toys to buy.
which is
um
funny, because they're doing that for Kabuto. They're not doing it for Agito. And again, Agito is called Agito Psychic War,
mhm,
sort of to put it over here,
mhm.
away from Kamen Rider, but it is still, I believe, technically part of the Kamen Rider Chronicle branding.
Yes, Psychic War. That they said that Psychic War is the first movie
Yep.
in the. So I guess the way they're branding each of these is going to be dependent on the project, right? It's going to be dependent on what that like. I doubt the Den-O movie is just called Den-O. We'll see. We'll see how they unveil this, but
If
you know.
if it's out, so the logo is just Den-O, I'm on fire, not Kamen.
Mm, okay, so maybe it is then interesting, and maybe Kamen Rider Kabuto is not. Inheritor of Heaven is not a part of the Chronicle
Yeah,
line.
the logos that do not have Kamen Rider in the title were Agito, Den-O, Gaim, Amazons, and Xaid.
Okay, interesting. Well, the next label that they put out is called Kamen Rider Animated, and if you can guess what this is, it's going to be animated projects that are both based on old writers and will introduce new writers as well. The first project is going to be a film from the animation studio Shirogumi and distributed by Aniplex, which is one of the main distributors of anime in Japan. Shirogumi is honestly most well known from looking at their list of projects they worked on. They helped they oversaw the VFX on Godzilla -1 and are also working on -0, which is the next Godzilla film. This is the very, very beloved new Godzilla movies that -1 came out, I think, two or 3 years ago. And this animated movie is going to be a new writer, which is interesting that they're picking a new writer, going to create a new writer for this from the
Yeah,
jump.
and Shirogumi is generally at least in recent times, has been generally 3D animated, but they have also done some 2D animated older stuff.
Hmm.
They did a Doraemon movie back in the day, and they did another one that was 3D. They did some Sinbad movies that were hand
Yes.
animated. Um, and I believe they also did a Crayon Shin-chan animated one. But Godzilla -1 and -0 are the ones that, like, we know them.
Hmm.
Like, most people probably know them from. They did show a bit of concept art of a writer in a futuristic city. It reminded me a little bit of the Big Hero 6 animated film.
Oh, I love Big Hero 6.
Um, kind of like it's noticeably definitely supposed to be a Japanese city, but it's kind of futuristic.
Hmm.
And there was a
Oh, San
writer,
Francisco, yes, from
yes,
Big Hero 6.
um, and there was a writer, but the design was blurred. It was blue with a red muffler. So we'll see what they do there. It's going to be an original series there. A lot of people were hoping as soon as animated popped up if they were going to do Kamen Rider Spirits, maybe, or maybe an adaptation of the original manga, maybe. And does Futo PI, which is aired on Crunchyroll already and is still like the manga for that is still ongoing. Like if that gets another season, does that go under this label? We'll see. Um, but this
Can you
is
quickly go over what Futo PI is?
a Futo PI is a sequel series to Kamen Rider Double, involving pretty much all of the same characters and continuing some ideas, but just a brand new story. So it's a sequel to a Toku show, but it was animated. I believe it's still up on Crunchyroll. I don't think it like went away or anything. I'd have to check to make
Is
sure.
Double in it?
Yes, it still stars. It is a full sequel. It still stars the same characters.
Oh, okay.
Uh,
Shit, I love Double.
Yeah, so it's FUUTO space PI because Futo is the city that they are, and they are private investigators. So it's not branded Kamen Rider, but it still stars the same two heroes following the events of the show and the movies. And they are on a new adventure with a new character that ties in with things that have happened in the past. It's a little bit more adult
Okay.
than the original. The new character is a bit more risque, I'd say. So if you are like, if you were somehow like a young kid who watched Kamen Rider Double, I would say parents mature warning here for that. But otherwise, it's mostly a continuation of Kamen Rider Double.
That's awesome.
Uh,
Okay, the anime is there was a season of the anime and it's on Crunchyroll. You said.
Yeah, it's still on Crunchyroll. And we haven't, I don't think, had like an announcement of a second season, but the manga for that is still ongoing.
Mm,
So they can absolutely. If that came back, I would say that might go under this banner
yeah.
because the idea here, is they say it's their strongest card for the global worldwide expansion of Kamen Rider, which makes sense because anime
Anime is popular.
is is big.
It's the whole reason we've been trying to tell people to come watch Tokusatsu. Is like, you like anime? Come on. Now you can just watch your Tokusatsu in anime form. So yeah, they clearly they want to, and I think it's a good thing. I mean, obviously, my mind jumped to, oh, they'll adapt the original manga for Kamen Rider, or do a something based on the OG Kamen Rider. But the fact that it's a new rider, like, kicking off this uh this new label is pretty cool, and I think that a fresh slate is maybe a good idea
Yeah,
for
and
this.
animation gives them a chance to not only again like adapt some of the existing manga that are out there, or even maybe the novel plots. Pretty much most writers from Heisei forward after some point have a sequel novel of some sort. Some of them are much better than others, but they can probably adapt some of those. But also, they can go the Star Wars Visions route, and
Mm-hmm.
animation gives you a chance to get some new eyes on
Mm-hmm.
some of these shows.
Yeah, it's I think that they know where international audiences are when it comes to Tokusatsu, and they probably are looking at it as like, we should lean into the anime side a bit more as a gateway. And if people want to, then okay, you've got Zeztz on streaming, right? You've got these other movies, which leans next into the next label that we're going to talk about, which is Kamen Rider Premium, which is essentially going to be movies with a bit more of a budget and designed for a more of a global release.
Yeah, and they said this was the blockbuster.
Mm-hmm.
So this is probably, if I had to guess, similar to Shin Kamen Rider. You give it a little bit more money, you get a real filmmaker on there. Black Sun also, but the Premium sounds to be a movie label.
Yes.
Um, Black Sun, it feels like in that same vein, you get like a real filmmaker to come in here, you do their take and give it a budget. This is also the one that they were like, yeah, this is coming for a global market. This is going to be one of those that it sounds like they're hoping to send out, like get that a theatrical release. We're putting that out there against Marvel movies or
Well, we'll
DC
see.
movies. I mean, it sounds like that's the hope that they have, that
Yeah, I
that
think.
Toei has as a whole.
I mean,
Um,
they do say that there was no specific project announced, but they are aiming for 2028 for whatever the first
yes,
project ends up
yeah,
being. So
they
we will
didn't
be a
say
few
what it
years
is.
into, it streaming outside of Japan and all that
Yeah,
jazz.
they didn't say what it is, but they definitely are. They already have something in mind because they were like, we're working on something already. It's coming in 2028.
Yeah. So there you go. Those are all of the different labels that they've announced. So Chronicle, Animated, Premium. Then game Project Henshin. This is I was under the impression that it was just one game, but this might be a more broader label for us. All of the Kamen Rider games. There have been Kamen Rider games in the past, but maybe they're looking at this with a new renewed focus on gaming. And the first game that they seem to be revealing is going to be a mobile only game, with released only in Japan as well. So this was the one we kind of got like the least. We got a little animation with someone transforming into Kamen Rider Kuga in this like hand drawn style, but we didn't get any more information than that. I bet you this is a gotcha game. This is just a
Yeah,
Kamen
it'll
Rider
be.
gotcha.
They already did one, and this was the one that everyone was like, "Oh my god, Kamen Rider Game Project! Yay! Oh, it's a gotcha game again."
I didn't
Uh,
know they had made a gotcha for Kamen Rider.
They did. I forget what it was called, but it was Kamen Rider. It was like an Ikemen game.
Ride
Uh, s-
Commons.
Ride Commons, that's it. And they were all hot dudes. And
Yeah.
it's one of those where I think
The top comment on the Reddit on this Reddit post says, "Yeah, it's less Kamen Rider and more handsome guys in power suits."
yeah, and like Ride Commons feels like it was aimed. A lot of the Ikemen games are aimed at a female audience,
Hmm.
and it felt like it was one of those steps. Like maybe, yeah, upon release, it's a bit of a mismatch, but the idea was clearly, hey, these Ikemen games, the otome games, are what the genre is called, are pretty popular. Disney actually has one, Twisted Wonderland. It has a series out now that you can watch on Crunchyroll. But they're popular. Maybe we can do some of this with Kamen Rider and get some of that extra female audience that we don't already have captured
Right.
with Kamen Rider. Which again, you see all these labels. Part of this is definitely we got a brand. It's working. What else can we do to get more people in?
Yeah, from different, oh, let's try and get the gamers, let's try and get the anime fans, let's
Yeah,
try and get this
like
new
like
sector.
Chronicle is the like we understand y'all are 30 and 40 and you're still in love with this stuff. We're going to give you merch, we're going to give you new movies.
We're gonna get lean
Enjoy.
into your nostalgia.
Right.
Yeah.
Anime fans, hey, maybe you're a little bit younger, you're Gen Z. Let me see if we can bring you in. You like anime? Guess what? We got some for you. Bring it over here. Kamen Rider Premium. Hey, you're just a person that watches movies.
Yeah.
We got something for you too.
Yeah. So Ride Commons is offline. It actually
Yes.
ended in October of last year, but you can apparently still play the game and all the story content and stuff. I don't know if people thought this was any good or anything, but seemingly they are deciding to just do the same thing again, but it is Kamen Rider. It isn't like an offshoot, like quasi, I think it was probably just like a misaligned thing to think like, oh, let's try and lean into this other demographic that's into these gotcha games, and instead being like, no, let's try and rope in the existing Kamen Rider audience into this game type. uh,
Yeah, and I'm wondering if maybe, given the little bit of art that we saw here, if this is more of a maybe like a Pokemon, like the Japan only and
mm,
other stuff makes me wonder if it's like a Pokemon Go type thing where,
mm,
where you're
you're
like
walking around and
the
doing.
the art shows like a suited guy turning into Kuga, and I'm
Yeah.
wondering if that's like you're the average Japanese salary man. You can take on these rider powers and walk around Japan and fight kaijin. Enjoy.
Yeah,
So
interesting.
we'll see.
We shall see. And then the last announcement was the next Kamen Rider series. So it's spelled Kamen Rider Myth with a hyphen in the middle of myth, so my-th. However, it's officially pronounced Kamen Rider My-Th, uh, which is just, I guess how you would pronounce myth in Japanese. And the tagline, I'm just going to run through all this information at once because it's a lot. Very bizarre. The tagline is: a small creature with an unexpected motif becomes a hero who fights by unleashing the greatest power. And people are taking that, and they're taking what they said. They teased, they said something about the logo, the way the logo design is going to give you a hint as to like what the show is about. People think that the main character is going to be a mouse because it's Maisu. And also there are kind of like these arc,
little
the
holes on the.
divots, yes, in the logo. The logo looks really, I thought it looked AI generated initially, like just like the way um like the kind of chamfering on the text in the logo, the on the actual, kana looked. I was like, this looks a little weird. Hopefully, this isn't AI generated. And then yeah, people are saying like, oh yeah, these like divots look like maybe like Swiss cheese. People though also were thinking maybe this is an April Fool's joke because it was like April 1st when this was announced. However, I did check the 50th anniversary announcements was also in April back in 2021, and they did announce Revice there, right? Because the other thing is like this is very early for us to be, usually we learn about the next season of the show once the trademark goes through, which is usually sometime in the midsummer, like late June. But Revice was announced in April of 2021, and so I think this is real.
I mean,
Um,
it was at the press con. They went over it at the press conference. Like, if it had just been that Twitter, maybe I could see,
mhm.
but no, they were like, by the way, as part of the 55th, this is our next rider. It is My-Th, Maisu, however we are going to pronounce it. It's definitely supposed to be my dash th
Mhm.
My-Th is our new guy.
Yeah,
And as soon as someone pointed out the holes where they are, yeah, it's probably going to be mice based.
amazing.
Um, uh, and
we
who
go
knows
from we
exact?
go we go from like all right, dream, it's all about nightmares and it's a nightmare rider, and then it's like it's gonna be like
Yeah, and it's going to be Kamen Rider is always about mixing motifs. Like we were
mhm,
talking, Deno was trains and
time travel and
well,
Oni. Yeah,
the each of the forms was based on different mythological
right.
stories.
You're right.
So while part of this theme may be whatever, mice, maybe animal based, also the name definitely seems to point towards stories. Perhaps we're doing another Saber story based, like people were wondering, like, something like Mouse Guard or whatever, or the Secret of the End.
Yes, Mouse Guard was what came to mind.
So, animals and stories. Maybe we'll get some like puns on, like, Stork King or something like that, like other animal based pun names. We'll see. It's Kamen Rider. We'll make it work.
Yeah, they'll look. Like I said, we got an orange samurai one, and it was maybe the greatest season of Kamen Rider ever. So they can do anything with anything.
Yeah, like that was fruit and different types of
Knights,
armor
yeah,
and also dancing. Uh but
hmm
yeah, dance crews, so like they'll make it work
they'll make
just
it work.
because. And sometimes the themes don't even like fully come across. Like 01 like is supposed to be like an office theme in addition to all the other stuff.
Interesting. I
Like
didn't get that from that one.
the sword is a suitcase, and his
Well, it's
little
true.
little
Yes.
little thing in the front almost looks like a tie. Like there are office themes before there, so like it's there,
Look,
but
you
it's
love
not
Gav.
really
You
there.
you said Gav was great, and it was chocolate and gummy worms and and
Yep,
Pringles. So if they made that work and people love that season, we can do a mouse.
we can do anything.
Is there anything here specifically? Obviously, this is a lot. Like I said, this is way more than they've ever done for any of their anniversary announcements, even more than the 50th, which is wild to think about. Because 55, who gives a fuck? You just had a massive one. You don't get to have another massive one. Anything here like that you're specifically excited for, mostly?
You never know. Like, even when they like announce writers, like you never know if a thing is gonna hit. Like I remember they announced Gotchard, and I was like, "Oh, this looks cool. Like the name is interesting. Cards, I'm down with that. Kimmy's, sure, whatever. Alchemy." But the show fell like a dull thud on me. So I'm never like, until the show actually airs, I'm just like, sure, whatever. Whatever you got. And that's the beauty of a meta franchise. We get a new thing every year or every couple of years. Show me what you got.
Yeah, maybe next year we're going to be raving about My-Th and be like, oh,
Right.
this is the best season yet. I can't believe they introduced a toad. Kamen Rider.
Right.
That was wild.
Like, or it could land with the dull thud.
Yep.
Saber was another one where I was like, oh, I'm on board. And then the show was just kind of like, okay.
We're gonna have to sit down, Mike, and we're gonna have to do a tier ranking, with the S tier, A.
With an actual like tier maker.
Yes. We're gonna do that in a future episode. Mike, thank you for bringing your insight. Really appreciate it. To all of these announcements, let us know what you are most looking forward to. With Kamen Rider Chronicle, Animated Premium, Game Project Henshin, Kamen Rider My-Th, Kabuto 20th, Inheritor of Heaven. Are you enjoying Zeztz? How's Gavan treating you? We want to hear it all, so let us know either in the comments of this video or on the comments of whatever podcast platform you are listening to this on. And we will see you next time.